Imagine giving the keys to the hen house to the fox. Well, that's what's just happened in the UK when the Home Secretary fired Angela Raynor, and now they've given it to Shabana Mahmood. Now, Shabana Mahmood is a devout Muslim Pakistani who will clearly further the interests of devout Muslim Pakistanis. Now, you want to give her the keys to the Work and Pensions Secretary, the Treasury Secretary, the Defense Secretary. That's okay. But what do Muslims really want? They want the blooming migration. They want to bring more in. And that's what they've got now. She is going to flood the country with even more Muslims. You thought it was stuffed to the brim. Well, you ain't seen nothing yet. It's going to be flooded by an avowed pro-Palestine loving psychopath, pro-Hamas obviously, and just pro-anything Islamist, right? Because she's Muslim, that's the way they work. So this is who's going to be in charge. One thing I have to say to her is what these guys have to say.
Secure Palestine! Secure Palestine of your own! You can secure Palestine of your own! You can secure Palestine of your own! You can secure Palestine! Secure Palestine! Secure Palestine of your own!
But guys, it does not stop there with Shabana Mahmood now being in charge of all migration into the UK and therefore obviously favouring her own population. We also have who's now the deputy leader. It is the thickest person in the class, David Lammy. Yes, our favourite, the guy who says who followed Henry VIII? It was Henry VII. I mean, obviously, what's brain? And a woman is simply someone with a cervix, and you can create a cervix through hormones. Yeah, I swear he said that. And also that his family survived on tax credits, which were only created under Gordon Brown, and he was 31 at the time. Anyway, this is the genius who is now deputy leader. And for what I think is, my personal opinion is, I think this is planned by Keir Starmer. Now, remember Keir Starmer and the rent boy scandal? They firebombed his properties that we had no idea about, but they fired 20-year-old Ukrainian rent boys, 3 of them, firebombed his properties, and it's been totally hushed, not a word since, right? No one knows what's going on there. And he's basically tried to dispel any uproar or any people being able to take his position. So Angela Raynor was the #1 candidate to take over as Prime Minister, and he's completely wiped her off with this leak. How did they get this information? She didn't pay the tax. Come on, right? And no one's that good at investigative journalism, right? This has clearly been leaked to them, and this is what's been leaked, and this is blown up, and obviously she quite rightly got fired, but he's still in place with the rent boy scandal that we don't know about. We don't really know what's gone on in there. Then we have Rachel Reeves, the Treasurer, who cried in Parliament because he's basically refusing to let her win. He will not cut benefits. He's sucking up to the backbenchers. That leaves her in an impossible position. She can't possibly, and she's got ballooning spending. She is going to be made the scapegoat, and she's finished, right? There's going to be no success from her to allow her to take the Prime Ministership. And then you have David Lammy, thickest guy you could ever see. He couldn't run a lemonade stand. He's totally stupid. And so obviously Deputy Prime Minister for him, because there's no challenge there. He's too thick to challenge a barrister. So I think this is a plan by Keir to make sure he stays in power. He wants to do his whole 4 years. Obviously afterwards the WEF will give him a nice consulting job or speaking tour or book deal. That's the way they bribe, right? So he'll be sorted afterwards, but he wants the whole 4 years in power. A bit like Sunak, very strange. They love this taste of power. They know it's temporary. They know that basically the people above them pull the strings, but they want to stay in power as much as possible. And that's what we're seeing from Starmer. Now he's literally got a cabinet of idiots. excluding Mahmoud, who will promote her agenda of Islamizing the UK even further. Not that Keir Starmer gives a damn anyway. But yeah, that's basically the plan now for the next 3 years. So in the UK, you know, Tony Blair's famous line was, his famous song was, "Things can only get better." Well, now with this Labour Party, it is seriously, when I saw Angela Raynor getting fired, I was like, oh no, oh flip, who can it be? It can only get worse. In the UK, things can only get worse. It can never get better. And so therefore I'm like, who the heck? Oh God, a freaking Islamist? Are you joking? Yes, that's who you've got. So many more Muslims coming to the UK in the next 3 years, guys. Don't you worry. And you're going to be gaslighted about it and told you're racist if you mention it. Enjoy.